One of the questions we get asked a lot at Graphify is whether there is an easy way to browse the data in a knowledge graph. To help answer this, we have introduced EasyGraph Explorer, a way to navigate around a graph by setting up sites for users. Setup is done purely by configuration from within EasyGraph, and the end result of configuring a site is what we will show you in this video. As an example, we have loaded the UNESCO thesaurus into EasyGraph and configured a site for it. This data is based on SCOS, the W3 standard for taxonomies and thesauri. When you first enter Explorer, this is what you see. The information shown on the home page and all of the filters on the left are all configurable. Let's start browsing the data. If we take a look at academic achievement, we can see that the display has been configured to show various items of information about this concept. So we can see all of the has-related properties, the has-narrower properties, and all of the data that relates to this concept. And we can see more detail by expanding again. So we can expand achievement tests and see its data, and so on and so on. Sometimes the amount of data can become overwhelming, so it is possible to reduce the properties shown. For instance, if we want to navigate by related relationships, we can just select that. You can see that the display has now been reduced to just has related, and the same for other concepts. Let's go back to the home page. Let's take a look at how you can filter the data. First, we'll search for concepts containing academic. We can now see a set of filters on the left that we can use to narrow down the results. We can see that 3 results are related to academic standards. Let's select that filter. Our results are then reduced down. And if we go into admission requirements, we can indeed see that it is related to academic standards. Let's go back to our filtered results. And this time, let's see what happens if we add a filter for results that have narrower concepts. We're now left with just one result. So you can see that filtering allows you to quickly dive deeply into the data. All of the filtering is set up by configuration. Let's go back home. Of course, English isn't the only language that your data may be in. Explorer lets you configure other languages as well. Let's select French. You can see that the entire UI has now switched over to French, and search is also now available in French. Let's search for social, and we can see the results. You can set up additional pages for your site, such as About. These pages can also be set up in multiple languages. If you're interested in browsing the data via an API, you can do that too. In this part of the site, you can configure what are essentially canned API requests for developers to try out. Let's take a look at the first, which is a search for concept schemes, taxonomies. Explorer gives you lots of options to configure the request, but let's start by running it. We can see the details of the response, and if we scroll down, we can see that we just have the one result, which is the UNESCO thesaurus. Each request can be altered using the request builder, so you have plenty of flexibility to try out variations of requests, and you can even switch between HTTP endpoints and GraphQL. We've now switched to GraphQL mode. Let's look at the request and the response, and we can see that it is in GraphQL format. So there you go. You can see that by simple configuration, a user-friendly site can be set up to explore the data and to look at it via an API. And that's it.